Welcome back to another episode of Coffee and Crypto. My name's Don. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching today's video. If you are watching it live, good morning. I hope you're all well and have your coffee ready to go for another episode of Coffee and Crypto. Now, I have been away from the channel for about a week. You may have seen from our YouTube channel, but also from our Instagram page if you follow us over there. We were in the lovely place which we love to call, well, we'd love to call home, but we call it Dubai. So we were in Dubai last week. Very important week for us at Certified Crypto and Crypto Glasgow. A lot of big meetings and a lot of new information was gained, which we have been sharing with our members. So if you are a member of CC Pro, you'll know exactly what we're talking about. Now, in today's episode, I do have a certain project, you may have seen it from the thumbnail, that I want to talk about. Very important. Our members already know about this, and you should too if you have been following us for any length of time. But again, before I get to that, there's loads of news to get through, a bit of a catch-up session. So let's get into today's video. Now, before we move in and look at the prices, I always start with mentioning our CC Pro Discord community. I won't talk too much about it. I would rather you click the link below in the description and have a read for yourself and find out how we can definitely benefit you in your crypto journey and help you make some serious money, but also get serious about your education in the crypto space. So yeah, anyway, like I said, I won't speak too much about it. Scroll down, click the link in today's description and you'll read more on that. Now, in terms of prices then, let's have a quick refresh. In fact, no, it's up to date. I won't refresh it because it's up to date. Let's have a quick look at the prices of the top 10 in crypto then. So Bitcoin currently sitting at $41,640. We then have Ethereum at $2,214. BNB up at $250. Who remembers when everyone was panicking about BNB and how it's going to zero and how it's going to crash the market? Oh, if it drops below $200, remember that? I don't see that being spoken about anymore, that we're back up at $250. XRP at 62 cents, Solana at $70, Cardano 59 cents, Avalanche at $40, which has managed to creep up into the top 10, so well done to any AVAX Avalanche holders, and then Dogecoin at 0.09. So most of the altcoin market, obviously, and Bitcoin did see a bit of a pullback, but we have seen a little bit of things creep back up, and things like Avalanche up 10% on the day, up 83% this week. Cardano up 50% this week. Solana currently still up 20% this week. BNB up 10% the past week. Look, guys, I get it. The past 2 days haven't been great because we were all very emotional when the prices were going up and subsequently emotional when the prices went down. These things are meant to play with your emotions, so the quicker you know that, the quicker you can fix your emotions, the better you will be in crypto. Let me assure you of that. Now, like I said, that's the top 10 in the crypto charts at the moment. I will cover this every single day that I am live. I always talk about the top 10 because it is important to know where we stand. It's also good for in a year's time when we come back and watch some of these episodes, we can see what the prices were like. It's almost like having a screenshot. I don't know if any of you have them, but me and Deck have screenshots from 2017, 2018, even 2020 of the top 10 crypto assets or the prices at the time. And it's quite funny to look back and see Bitcoin at like $4,000 and Ethereum at $100. It's quite sickening as well because you wish you bought more, that same old story. But yeah, nonetheless, we will continue to talk about the top 10 to keep you all in the loop. So let's jump into the first article of today, and it's coming from El Salvador. So apparently El Salvador's Bitcoin bond gets regulatory approval and targets a Q1 launch. Now, this might not seem like a big deal because none of you are based in El Salvador. However, please be rest assured that this is important to kind of understand. So El Salvador's long anticipated Bitcoin bonds, also known as the Volcano bonds, have reportedly received the regulatory nod for a launch in early 2024. Now, the volcano bond was approved by El Salvador's Digital Assets Commission and is anticipated to launch during the first quarter of 2024. We've already said that now 3 times. We kind of get the point. That's according to something that was released on December 11th from the National Bitcoin Office. So here is the Bitcoin Office's tweet. Again, if you care so much, you can pause today's video and read that tweet. But the basis of it is they spoke about this year, spoke about it last year as well, but it's now finally being approved. The regulation is approved and it's ready to go in El Salvador. So yeah, good, positive news. We love to see it. But anyway, moving on. So the country's pro-Bitcoin leader Nayib Bukele also seemingly confirmed the news in a post of his own, captioned "When Volcano Bond," while also reposting several posts noting that the bonds will be issued in Q1. So let me try and dive into it a bit more detail to say why I think this is important, because you're probably thinking, why are you talking about this? Well, the possibility of these volcano bonds then came about in November 2021. You may remember this, you may not. But El Salvador first passed the landmark legislation providing the legal framework for the Bitcoin-backed bond in January 11th of this year. The volcano bond is intended to pay down sovereign debt, so this is why I think it's so important, and it will fund the construction of the country's proposed Bitcoin city. So that's one of the main reasons why I'm actually covering this news and why I think it's important. El Salvador are doing what most countries should be doing in terms of adopting Bitcoin as a legal tender. But even better than that, they're now having this, the Bitcoin bond or the volcano bonds, where with the money that's going to be raised and earned from that bond, they're going to be paying down any debt that the country has, which is unheard of. It is a total alien move. No other country does this. Maybe the likes of Dubai, who doesn't probably have any debt, but hardly anyone, if anyone, does do this, which is why I think it's really, really important, because countries should be following in the footsteps. Now, the ONBTC said the bond will be issued on Bitfinex Securities Platform, a trading site for blockchain-based equities bonds registered in El Salvador. Now, it signals the beginning of a Bitcoin-based capital market in the country, with the bonds set to last 10 years and pay 6.5% in annual return to holders. So, again, pretty decent returns for something that I'm assuming not a lot of people in El Salvador would have had the option to do previously. So yeah, just shows you that there's good reason behind this, and it's definitely going to work out, in my opinion. So El Salvador recently launched a 241 megawatt Bitcoin mining project worth $1 billion, which will tap into the country's volcanic resources through a partnership with Luxor Technology. Is that say Concagayu? I don't know. Concagayu, I think that's how you pronounce it, probably not, is the name of the volcano that will power the country's mining operation. So here you go. Here's a pic from an aeroplane of a volcano in El Salvador that will be powering Bitcoin, which is, again, pretty interesting to do. But anyway, why do I think this is so important other than what I've mentioned? Well, it's showing you that things are still moving in the background. No matter what the price is, if it's up or down or sideways, no matter what, El Salvador, huge South American country, is focused on progressing forward with Bitcoin as its, a legal tender, not its legal tender, but an option of legal tender. It's also pushing forward for these bonds, which will help pay off sovereign debt, which is, again, incredible to see. And just overall, I think in the next 5 to 10 years, you will see a lot of people flock to El Salvador, which is a very, very smart move by the president, because it's obviously going to help tourism for a start, which brings money to the country, which then helps the country become more flourished and pay more debts off, build more, bring jobs, and just so much more, I guess, a more flowing society and probably a happier society as well. They've got the sunshine, they've got volcanoes. Who doesn't love a volcano? They have Bitcoin. Who doesn't love Bitcoin? And they have someone in charge of the country who, actually cares about the people. Who doesn't love that? So yeah, smart move, in my opinion, from El Salvador. I feel like maybe we should make a visit to El Salvador next year and, just to take part, or at least feel that we're taking part in the whole Bitcoin push. Anyway, moving on to the next part of news then. So Dubai awards conditional crypto license to a climate-friendly Web3 firm. Now, I don't know if they're doing this because of COP28 is currently out in Dubai, or it was last week. So maybe that's a good timed approval, I would say. But anyway, nonetheless, let me read this. So Dubai's Virtual Assets Regulatory Authority, also known as the VARA, granted a conditional license to engine starter Aya platform, offering crypto assets and investment services. So the Dubai arm of Web3 launchpad and advisory firm Engine Starter received a crypto license subject to fulfilling certain conditions before the commencement of services. After meeting all the requirements of the VARA, the platform will be subject to regulatory verification and approval, the announcement read. The license remains non-operational until the company fully satisfies all remaining conditions and select localization requirements defined by VARA. Now, Engine Starter has not yet responded for any comments regarding this. However, in the official announcement, Parakesh, the co-founder and CEO of Engine Starter and the Aya Foundation, shared the company's willingness to comply with the process laid out by the VARA. Now, this, I think, is quite, again, funny timed, quite important, but Aya is a climate-focused launchpad that supports innovations around sustainability, such as reforestation, nature credits, mangrove conservation, and sustainable agriculture. In addition to serving as a finance platform for green initiatives, Aya helps projects dedicate to climate action with blockchain and Web3 infrastructure. Now, again, why do I think that's quite funny? Well, do you know what? I say it's quite funny, right? But it's actually, it is legit, and there's two parts to this. So I think it's quite funny because, like I said, COP28 is in Dubai at the moment. We were out there last week, and like I said, there was loads of people from all over the world in town for COP28, which is the kind of climate party or climate meeting that happens most years. It happened in Glasgow 2 years ago or 3 years ago. But yeah, anyway, the reason I think it's funny is because, well, they just so happen to have approved it now as that's in Dubai. So yeah, call me tinfoil hat or not, but it just looks very well timed to me. But the second point I wanted to make was when we were out in Dubai, and whenever we are out in Dubai, you definitely notice a change in the air quality. So luckily living, well, I don't know if that goes in the same sentence, luckily living in the UK, that's maybe not what I meant, but if you're lucky enough to have clean air like you may receive in the UK, or in Scotland in particular, the air is very different and cleaner than it is compared to in Dubai. Now, that is definitely an issue in Dubai because they keep just throwing up buildings after buildings made of steel, glass and concrete. However, there is not a lot of green life. I mean, it's a desert at the end of the day, so I don't know what I'm expecting. However, Dubai is planning, and they are, as part of their kind of future proofing of the city or the kind of area of the UAE, are planning a lot more green growth. So they are trying to bring more trees, plant more green things to help with the air quality. You see it in Singapore and in India where they have multi-story buildings covered in trees. That's architecturally quite interesting, but it's also required for people to breathe, which is also equally as interesting. So, yeah, that's a big deal. And I think that's why this is potentially good timed approvals because of COP28. But also I do agree that there needs to be a push for, especially in Dubai, for clean air, for greener life in Dubai. And I'm guessing this company will be helping Dubai do that. So all in all, again, fairly positive for me. Will it mean that the price of your crypto will go up? Probably not, but I don't care about your crypto. I'm joking. I care a lot about other things that happen in crypto. So things like the news, hence why Coffee and Crypto is a news channel. If you want to talk about prices, targets, your portfolio, jump on a phone call. I'd done a one-to-one literally just before I went live. Did one yesterday. We do one pretty much every other day, sometimes twice a day, discussing portfolios with people. So yeah, if you are interested in speaking to myself with a consultation, there's a link below to our wop.com website. You can jump on, book a call, and I will help you out. But anyway, moving on to some news coming from this wicked witch called Elizabeth Warren. So more US senators are apparently backing Elizabeth Warren's AML bill targeting crypto. So I've got two parts to this story, a bit of a follow-up, which I'll cover in a sec. So the senator then, Elizabeth Warren, an outspoken critic of digital assets in the US government, has announced that 5 more senators have agreed to co-sponsor one of her bills aimed at cracking down on money laundering. Oh, really? So Senator Warren said senators blah, 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 whoever they are, have also joined in on backing her Digital Asset Anti-Money Laundering Act, reintroduced in July. Funny timing, funny how she reintroduced it as the market was starting to pick up. That's interesting. Now, according to Warren, the legislation specifically targeted illicit uses of crypto assets for money laundering and financial terrorism. Oh, okay. Now, I'm glad that 5 new senators, this is quoting this this senator, I'm glad that 5 new senators are joining the fight to take action, including 3 members of the Banking Committee, said Warren. Our bipartisan bill, I think that's how you pronounce that, is the toughest proposal on the table, cracking down on crypto's illicit use and giving regulators more tools in their toolbox. Right, fantastic, well done. Now, the bill already has bipartisan support, again, I don't know if that's the right word, from several senators and organisations, including the Bank Policy Institute, Massachusetts Bankers Association, Transparency International US, Global blah blah blah, a lot of other big names in America, right? That's all you need to know. In the announcement, Warren then reiterated, what was that even? What did I even say there? Warren reiterated a claim she made in December 6, hearing that the Senate Banking Committee and subsequent interviews that roughly half of North Korea's missile program was funded by digital assets. So, apparently, digital assets are fueling North Korea. For any viewers who seen me very stressed there, it's because, where does this come from? They're just using different countries that are enemies, I guess, of the US or hot topics against the US. North Korea. Apparently, North Korea was half funded by digital assets, i.e. crypto. Come on, man. What we should be doing, because it's all proof, the proof is there, is if you really want to prove that point, Warren, then get the blockchain to prove that point, and everyone will accept that North Korea was funded by crypto. It is a load of BS, it's a load of nonsense, most like any Senate from the US. Anything that the government say about crypto, 9 times out of 10 or 9.5 times out of 10, it is fugazi, it is garbage, and this is no different. So, in one article, yes, this seems quite scary, quite daunting. Another 5 senators are getting behind this witch, Elizabeth Warren. You've heard her, been spoken about plenty of times, I'm sure. But let me show you the next article, which will hopefully not really make you care as much as maybe you do right now. So, don't panic, is what the article lists. Maybe I should show you on your screen first, that would help. There you go. So don't panic, only 11 of Elizabeth Warren's 330 bills have ever been passed. So she's just doing it to get attention. She's worth something like, I've seen it before, I should have brought it up, I've seen it before I went live. I think she's worth 60 million. So I don't know why she decides to keep doing this. I don't know if she's just trying to stay relevant. I don't quite understand. Anyway, it says here then, according to data from the bill tracking platform GovTrack, Warren has introduced 330 bills during her 11 years as a senator. 10 were eventually folded into other bills, and only one relatively obscure bill has ever been intact. Don't care. This was the National POW, or MIA Flag Act, which requires the prisoner of war or missing in action flag to be displayed alongside the US flag on some federal property. So quite a random thing to get put into power, but that was one of what she got passed. So don't worry, very few bills are ever intact. Please someone let me know what that word is. Most legislators sponsor only a handful that are signed into law. GovTrack explained, most of the time, members of Congress take action such as putting up legislative amendments and working on committees, which go largely unnoticed by the public. So, if you were worried, don't be. I wanted to bring you the news anyway because you'll see it crop up over the next few months, I would imagine, whilst it is hot in the news. But yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. I'm certainly not worried about it. It's just funny and annoying that she decides to bring it up as the prices start to move to the upside once again. Anyway, moving back on to the last piece of news before I discuss that altcoin that I wanted to discuss with you. Also, please make sure you're sticking around for all of the video so you don't miss out on the juicy news coming in just a few minutes. Now, UK asset manager M&G have invested $20 million in Bitcoin derivatives exchange. That's interesting. So the investment arm of the UK-based pension fund, M&G, have invested $20 million into the country's first regulated Bitcoin derivatives exchange, Global Futures and Options Holdings. Now, an announcement from M&G and GFO-X outlined the investment details, which form part of a $30 million Series B funding round for the derivatives exchange. The platform will initially offer clearing of Bitcoin index futures and options contracts. Now, the move provides a platform for traditional finance institutions to gain exposure to various cryptocurrency derivative investment products. GFOX is set to become FCA regulated and centrally cleared trading platform for crypto derivatives. So, very, very important that we make news of this or bring it to light, because I do believe companies like M&G, go Google M&G if you don't know who they are, they're a fairly big pension company. They have decided to get involved in a Series B funding round, which is huge, especially because it's a crypto derivatives platform. The investment capital stems from M&G's crossover strategy, which was seeded from a Series B funding round that draws from a $138 billion Prudential with profit funds. Now, the crossover strategy is aimed at patient growth equity for fast-growing private companies, and then the funding aims to create a hub for trading and clearing crypto derivatives and foster innovation in the sector. Part of the investment sees M&G join the board of GFO-X. So, even more important, they're not only investing, they're also taking part of the board of this derivatives platform. That's majorly bullish for blockchain and crypto in the UK. I hope you agree. Now, a statement from the M&G portfolio manager Jeremy Punnett highlighted the potential for the UK and London to become leading destinations for crypto technology and investment. He then said that the lack of regulated trading venues is materially hampering the growth of digital currency trading market. Yes, actually, I do agree. But nonetheless, like I said, this is look, it's the UK. They are pushing forward. It's not always what we want to see because they'll try and become like the big brother of crypto, but yeah, the sooner we can get out, the sooner the better, shall we say. Anyway, that's your news for today. I hope you enjoyed that. What I do want to cover now is, well, you've seen it from today's thumbnail. Hopefully you understood exactly what was going on, but it was a very, very close project to our heart, MV. So, you may have seen it spiked in price massively yesterday, which was, of course, exciting to see. It did make the headlines from the likes of Kraken and other exchanges to say that they were one of the top movers. So, today's top movers were ING, MV and Pond. Top losers, who cares about them because we don't invest in them. But yeah, MV was up there with some of the top kind of moving accounts. We then seen this post come out from Genzo that Bitget, again, we use Bitget for our copy trading. There is a link below if you want to know more about that. But Bitget has launched MV. Fantastic. So celebrating Genzo's 1 year anniversary, we will be hosting an in-game tournament with Bitget with the prize pool at $17,000. So again, another great thing to see. It's why we love MV so much. They have continued to do things that we like to see, i.e., they haven't shied away from releasing new bits of information, continue to get launched on Japanese exchanges. They're now launched on Bitget. They continue to make moves in the market, whether it's good, bad or ugly, the prices, they continue to move up in terms of just progressing forward, and we love to see that. Of course, for members, you know that we brought MV Genzo Kishi to all members as it launched on Bybit. It was one of the highest grossing kind of project launches on Bybit at the time, and we thankfully managed to get involved. I think it done something like 180x return on investment. I can't quite remember, but yeah, for me, it's a 15-year-old project. Again, you can see it top right here. It's a 15-year-old project. It has all the credibility that we like to see, and also it focuses hugely, and as far as I'm aware, they have about half of their workforce focused on Web3 development. So that's massive, massive news. Now, in terms of the price of Genzo Kishi, let's have a look at it. What's it been doing? Oh, it's actually up today, but if we look at it over the past month, first of all, it's up 31% this month. Again, even looking at it over the past year, there has been no real price action for a long time, since way back in January 2023, which was, what, almost a year ago, where it was up at 20 cents. Now, it is down at the point of 0.5 cents, which is a crazy decrease. It's down about 73% this year already. But if you look at it on the monthly, we are up 31%. Look at it on the daily, we're up 51%. No, sorry, the 7 daily, should I say, we're up 51%. And on the day, we are currently down 6.3%, and that's because we had a massive spike of about 100% 2 days ago, or yesterday was it? I can't quite remember now what day it actually is. But yeah, the prices have seen a lot of fluctuation recently with the influx of new buyers, the influx of news from Bitget as well. And look, it's exciting for me to see, because I do believe in the project. I really do like the project. Of course, that's just my opinion. Nothing that I can ever bring you on this channel is financial advice, and you should always do your own research. Whenever I talk about things, or whenever anyone in the crypto space on YouTube, whatever it may be, Twitter, mentions crypto or investing, please make sure you do your own research. You look into the regulations in your country, and please, please, please make sure you know that your investment can go to zero and your capital is always at risk. So please, I know that's a boring statement and you probably hear it all the time, but I just want to make sure I'm looking out for you as best as possible. But getting back to MV then, why do we love it so much? Well, look, if we go back to the all-time highs of this, back, when was that? February of 2022? It's not even moving for me. I'm trying to get this little green box to move. Come on, get me up there. $1.61. I do believe it was about $1.80 at one point. But yeah, as far as I can get it up there, it's $1.60. When you look at that chart, I mean, for me, if it gets back to $1.60, that's a fantastic return on investment, just purely from a factual standpoint. And again, over the past month, yes, we are seeing an increase in price, which if you're a holder, you love to see it. If you're a potential holder, you're thinking, oh, is it too high? Should I buy? Should I hold off? Well, there is no guarantee that it won't just keep going because of the news from Bitget, etc. But yeah, look, Genzo Kishi, MV, it's a project that we love. We have included it many, many times to our Discord community, which again, if you're not part of that, you can scroll down and join our Discord community. I highly suggest that you do it as soon as possible. I won't give you too much detail, but there may be some big changes coming from the 1st of January 2024 that you don't want to miss out on. So get into our Discord. As a matter of fact, get into our Discord. Don't even question it before the 1st of January, or you will pay the consequences. But anyway, that was what I wanted to bring you today in terms of the altcoin that could it be next? Well, I strongly believe so. I have held it since day one, and I will continue to hold it throughout the investment journey that I'm on, and I hope you do the same. If you are invested in Genzo Kishi, please drop me a comment below. I'd like to see part of the community and what you are, or if you're investing in Genzo Kishi MV. Anyway, that's all for today's video. Thank you so much for tuning in, watching. If you are watching it live, good afternoon now. I hope you have a great Tuesday, and you have had a great Tuesday, and whatever else you got up to throughout today and the evening, I wish you well. I'm sure for all of our members, I will chat to you in Discord at some point. Plenty of updates and new things coming throughout the next few weeks and few months. So yeah, it really does pay to be involved in a community like CC Pro. So that's all from me today. I will speak to you all very, very soon for the next episode of Coffee and Crypto.